Okay, so I'm not going to pretend that I've tried ordering physical anime from literally every official distributor that there is yet, but I have attempted orders from a lot of different sources, and I've come to the conclusion that
another one.
if you really want the people packaging and sending you your anime in the post-RightStuf era to care as much as you would about the packaging, your best bet is probably going to be to find a small reseller on eBay who has as close as possible to a 100% feedback rating. Obviously, I opened this up earlier because I wanted to go ahead and see what it was, but this is from a reseller on eBay called a Thrashing Maniac, and as you can see, 2 bubble wrap envelopes inside of one another, followed by more bubble wrap wrapped around 4-sided cardboard with the Blu-ray on the inside wrapped in yet more bubble wrap. And if we cut this open, perhaps I should have just taken the sunglasses off for once. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. Trying to get in through all this. And to no surprise, my Blu-ray seemed to have arrived in one piece. You don't hear anything rattling around in there either. Once again, that's a Thrashing Maniac on eBay. 100% feedback, obviously. Probably the closest other thing that I've seen to this level of care in the post-RightStuf era would have to be an order that I recently got from All the Anime, aka Anime Ltd, a UK distributor. Picked up the UK releases of Revolutionary Girl Utena there. Parts 2 and 3 at least. Part 1 was out of stock. I might throw some B-roll up from the unwrapping I did of that. But that one basically amounted to 2 layers of cardboard wrapped around, once again, fairly thick bubble wrap wrapped around the actual Blu-ray cases. I also recently ordered this through eBay, which in this case was a UK reseller named 70s Pool Boy. This is someone who basically seems to be reselling All the Anime, aka Anime Ltd packages, and I was kind of wondering if this was literally just the package that came from them that they then sent to me, but the address on it is different. And once again, I mean, we have a bubble wrap envelope, and inside of that, fairly thick bubble wrap, once again, wrapped around my still sealed UK releases of G Gundam. No rattling around in there. Obviously, this come from halfway across the freaking world, and it still appears to be in excellent condition. So is the Revolutionary Girl Utena release that I ordered from over there. Obviously, in that case, you would kind of hope that they would really go above and beyond. Oh yeah, and in case some of you don't trust the shake and rattle test, which I can't really blame you for, I went ahead and opened the plastic up on all of these, and you'll notice none of the corners are chipped. None of the corners are chipped on either sides. And if I open them up, hopefully you can see from here, none of these push buttons. These often crack off during transit. None of these ones are broken. None of the ones in the G Gundam Set 1 are broken or chipped. That case is so beautiful, by the way, oh my god. But yeah, none of the push buttons are broken or chipped in the second release of G Gundam. You'll notice none of these are like falling out or dangling or anything either. These are the issues that I often have after ordering so many different packages from Amazon. Same with the second set, Revolutionary Girl Utena. None of these are broken or chipped. The one behind the other disc is also fine. And the final set of Revolutionary Girl Utena, once again, same. It's the usual style, like the Gundam releases in Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions. Same style as the usual releases. None of these are broken or chipped. Once again, like all of them, this is totally fine. None of the corners are chipped or anything. 5 out of 5. Perfectly fine. Meanwhile, I've ordered so many releases from Amazon, which arrive all banged up and with the Blu-ray cases all chipped up. And I've obviously seen absolute horror stories from some of the people who have ordered some of their releases straight from Crunchyroll. Personally, I actually had a pretty good experience with Sentai Filmworks. So I'll be uploading something about this in much more detail a bit later, but I ordered a ton of Blu-rays from them during their summer sale, and it came in a huge box with a bunch of those big inflated round bubble wrappy things. Once again, nothing like this where it's like an individual package is wrapped up 3 or 4 times, completely cushioned, but even ordering enough that they just had to put it into a giant box, they still packaged it up in a way that it winded up getting to me all in one piece, even though it was literally dozens of Blu-rays.
Stop it. Get some help.
All of them showed up, at least the ones that have actually opened so far, showed up in one piece, and I didn't notice any rattling around in the cases, outside of ones that I opened up and realized that it was just, you know, the Blu-ray had fallen out of the tray, for example. Just pop it right back in. Totally fine. Anyway, back to wherever we were.
Just keep talking.
But the thing that I really wanted to point out about this, the trend that I've noticed, is if you want to get great packaging, possibly this will be obvious to a lot of people, but if you want to get great packaging, if you want to get your physical anime sent to you by someone who cares, you really want to order from a small reseller or a smaller, more niche distributor. They're going to care way more than a big company can. And ironically, in all 3 cases, I got Love Chinibyo and Other Delusions from the eBay reseller cheaper than I seen it on Amazon, and I'm pretty sure it was cheaper than I seen it on Sentai's actual website. Not to knock Sentai, I've had really good experiences with them as well, not to this degree, but still fairly good experiences. But once again, this was cheaper than it was available on Amazon. These were cheaper through the UK reseller on eBay than they would have been on Amazon, than they were on the actual All the Anime website as well. Once again, not to knock them either, I've had really good experiences with them, but once again, this was actually cheaper going through the reseller on eBay, and way cheaper than I was able to find these on Amazon. Also, obviously cheaper than trying to get any of the US releases, which are unbelievably freaking expensive now. And in the case of parts 2 and 3 of Revolutionary Girl Utena, ironic to my point in this case somewhat, but I was able to get these cheaper through the All the Anime website, which I ordered directly from using PayPal. I was able to get them much cheaper there than I would have been able to get them through eBay resellers, which is a lesson learned to always shop around, check all of your options if you're wanting to get it as cheap as you can. These are being resold for like $100 a piece on eBay by a lot of sellers, so obviously some of these guys are literally just scalping, and these were like 25 pounds a piece, ordering them directly through the All the Anime store. Unfortunately, part 1's not available, so I just had to order it in the US release, which is out of print now, I believe, in the US, so it was way more expensive than these. But hopefully you're getting my point that, ironically, in a lot of cases, if you go to a third-party reseller on a website like eBay, or if you import a UK release from one of these much smaller, more niche distributors, you can often not only pay less, but also get far better service than you would by going through one of these big companies, one of the big anime distributors like Crunchyroll, or even a big company like Amazon, who's going to charge you more and care less. But anyway, I'm not going to keep yapping on and on about this. I think I've made my point pretty well. I'm still going to have a big wrap-up video talking about all the different distributors who are still licensing physical releases for anime a bit later. That's going to take a little more work for obvious reasons. But beyond that, I do definitely still want to try out ordering directly from some of these other distributors like Anime AEGO and Discotheque Media and G-Kids and MVM Films. Once again, the other UK reseller who's still working on similar UK releases like these, which you can obviously still play so long as you have a region-free Blu-ray player. I would at some point like to try ordering at least 1 or 2 things directly from all of these, because I'm just really curious, like, what is the customer service level and the attention and care that goes into packaging when ordering directly from them, because once again, I have been incredibly surprised knowing the kind of subpar quality and the kind of just passable quality that you get from the bigger US distributors, and then seeing how much care you get from a UK distributor like Anime Ltd, or the kind of care that you get from a random reseller on eBay in many cases. I'm curious what the packaging and the customer service and the care that goes into some of these other smaller, more niche distributors is really like. And I kind of doubt that there are very many people who have actually tried them all out. So anyway, I said I wasn't going to keep yapping, but here I am. Gonna call it there, try and chop this up and post it real quick, and peace as always.